And Tom, it looks like we're just getting word from NYPD that Hamilton Hall is now cleared. The video that we were showing was those officers going through and clearing Hamilton Hall. The tent city is cleared, but the tents and belongings are still there and will be handled by the university. How does that work?
Yeah, so that's really up to the school now to determine, okay, do you want to have, these students come back? Are they going to be students that are suspended or expelled? Remember, that's been part of the debate, as you well covered the last couple of days here. So the NYPD, I think, because they don't want to be in the property management business, is going to cede that back to the university and say, however you guys want to distribute these people's belongings is the way that this is going to go. But their main focus is they were asked to come in by Columbia University. They were asked to make these trespassing arrests. They were asked to give students a notice that this is what was going to happen. So I think from the police department's perspective, they've done their job, and now it's up to the school to figure out how people can get their stuff back.
And we're watching right now on your screen that the arrest was happening. It's happening live there. From the latest numbers that I'm seeing, about 100 arrests so far. Is that right, Tom?
Yeah, that's about right. The information now coming in a little bit more, I think, as I alluded to, is as we get closer to midnight and 1 a.m., we'll get some more specifics. That seems right to me. And we're going to continue to track that through the night and hopefully get some more specifics on who was actually charged, what actually occurred. There may have been some minor skirmishes between police and protesters. We're going to see if anybody will actually be charged with that. And we'll wait to see how that kind of all works its way out. But that's something we are hearing from law enforcement officials. Nobody is describing to us, at least, that there's been any sort of significant violent episodes between police and protesters. But, Don, as you well know, and as I always like to remind people, we're just a few hours into it. And in this day and age, as video comes out, as things come out, we'll only know really several more hours from now, if not tomorrow, how this all shook out real time. And of course, it's very different now because we've had major protests. I'm thinking of Occupy Wall Street in the past, where there were no images of what actually happened. Well, as we clearly saw from the video, the flashing red light on those officers' vests, that's not for visibility. That's their body-worn cameras. And the NYPD has a full body-worn camera system. So we're going to see and be able to see video from what actually happened here when this went down, either through public information requests or through the NYPD releasing it on their YouTube channel at some point here. So we'll have some clarity as to what happened, I think, from a number of different perspectives, and that'll let us know, if this has been a nearly entirely peaceful operation or whether there were clashes and how all that went down. But again, that's in the hours and really probably days to come.
And Tom, we just heard from a student who described seeing someone that was led away by police, carried away, in fact, by police, and they appeared to be unconscious. Are there any injuries that we've seen reported, or is that part of this fog of everything that we're seeing unfold live?
Yeah, so this information is now, we're uncovering it moment to moment, minute to minute, Gotti, but this information now a little bit old. We'd initially been told there were no injuries or no serious injuries. I have no way of confirming what that student told you. I heard him say that, and I certainly not in any way telling you it didn't happen. It's just a matter of when we find out. And obviously, it's a big campus, it's a big police operation, and you're involving a number of different commands and commanders. So you've got emergency services, you've got SRG, the Strategic Response Group, which handles a lot of riots and protests, and you've got some more heavily armored components of ESU that were there and available. So you look at it in its totality. I think by the time everybody gets their numbers right and gets a debrief, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about injuries, either to students or police or both. But as of right now, we haven't been told of anything significant, but obviously that can certainly change. So I wouldn't expect that to be the end-all, be-all of information tonight.
And Tom, I mean, this is such a massive operation. It seems as though an operation this complex with this many officers would take some planning. We know that that letter that you put out there and the information from the university requesting NYPD's help officially happened, and then immediately after that, NYPD moved in. How much planning was NYPD doing before that letter came, do you think?
Right. So the New York City Police Department is not a perfect organization. They would be the first to tell you that. They do some things well. They do some things really well. Planning is one of those types of things. So they have a general plan for all sorts of citywide emergencies, including civil unrest at these types of schools. And so what they'll look at is and we've been in constant communication with Columbia's student safety and public safety department. So it's not as if they walked into this cold or have just been watching News Now all week long, although they definitely watch all the TV networks and all the streaming networks too. But when you look at this from a planning perspective, they say, okay, which officers are best equipped to handle Hamilton Hall? That's Emergency Services Unit. They'll get on top of that truck and climb through the ladder, and they know how to go room to room. I've been with them while they've done this to clear, in a training capacity, to be clear, to be able to handle Hamilton Hall. Okay, SRG is best equipped to handle protests. This is how many students we expect on the quad. If that's how many students we have, this is how many SRG officers we have. And then we go to patrol, who can be on those side streets that you, I think, astutely pointed out. They're even off campus, and they have a presence there. And then they have a plan as far as how to get the students that they've taken into custody on a bus, out of there. Let's process them quick. Let's get them out and keep things moving. So all of this is kind of a general plan, and then they just tailor it to the school. I think given the way this is going, they knew for some time that eventually they were going to go there. And then obviously as today appeared to have escalated in Hamilton Hall, the police department felt they were in a position that they needed to move. I got a couple of questions leading up to this inside our newsroom, Gotti, about, well, is the National Guard going to be called in? And no offense to National Guard, but they're not close to the size in New York of the NYPD as far as the ability to have people on hand readily. The NYPD is its own Army division, over 30,000 sworn. So they have the complete ability to scale up and scale down personnel assignments and be able to handle something like this while still catching 911 calls and other incidents throughout the city. And there are some scattered protests throughout the city tied to pro-Palestinian supporters that are getting their attention as well. So that it's not as if it's its own thing. And they have a whole host of helicopters they can deploy to all these events. And if you're in a command car, so if you're a boss at the NYPD, you can pull up on your computer in your car a live stream from any one of those helicopters. So they have a total view of what their officers are doing fairly real time.
And Tom, when it comes to those who have been arrested or detained, what's the process? How soon are they going to be booked and released, I guess?
Yeah, so generally speaking, if you were one of the students who had a tent and you said, I'm not leaving, the NYPD shows up, they said, you are leaving, you're trespassing, you've been told so by the school and by us. They'll take you into custody, likely in those flexi cuffs, the plastic cuffs that you see. You'll be put in a transport bus or van and be taken to, they're going to change this up a little bit because of the size of this operation, but typically taken to a precinct. You'd be issued a summons, which is like a ticket, and they might see if you had any outstanding warrants or other issues. And then at that point, you're free to go, and you just handle the summons that way. For somebody that's charged with perhaps burglary, I'm thinking of the Hamilton Hall, some of the charges the NYPD said they might consider burglary, vandalism, any sort of assault, if that occurred between a protester and police, that would be more serious. That would be a desk appearance ticket. You've got to come back, and you might actually be arrested and booked. And fingerprints, mugshot, all that type of thing would be done. That would obviously be a much longer process. And for things more serious than that, then that starts to involve the entirety of the judicial system and formal charges and arraignment before a judge, et cetera. So I think for most of these students, they're going to be going the route of a summons, and I would expect that by morning they'll be out and free to go, and they'll just need to pay and deal with the summons.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.